Obrigado, in Portuguese. Thank you. I'm trying to start. Okay. As Manuel João told, I'm here to present a case study. I have a lot to show, but I try to choose only the part of gamification. I will explain the entire part of the project and focus in gamification. At the beginning, I want to appreciate your invitation, and it's a pleasure to be here to present my experience with large classes. As you can see, for me and my colleagues, COVID-19 was an opportunity to increase and change of way of teaching, and we try to create engaging environment online with our students. So the context is easy to understand because this pandemic year we are facing a lot of digital transformations where the universities need to answer to the students' expectations and challenge of teaching in this type of teaching lessons. In this case, during my last years, I try to create a new paradigm that can bring, for example, the mobiles to classrooms, trying to experiment some types of exams using mobile technologies. And during these last 2-3 years, I created a new paradigm named TechTeach that use a set of trending topics like PBL, TBL, gamification, and others that can explore different types of learning. This case study shows how it can be applied online using sync and async activities. So the topics of this approach is the most important is gamification. Then we use team-based learning and project-based learning. We also use flipped classes. And finally, we want to improve the soft skills of students. As I can say at the beginning, I will focus my presentation in gamification part. So the environment of this work is easy to explain. All classes, projects, assessments were executed online. We promoted near our students team coding exercise. It is classes of programming. And then we promote near the students a lot of quiz about topics knowledge. We put here some gamification. Then we promote some in classes and extra classes activities. And finally, we developed with students a lot of learning challenge using gamification. To put in practice our gamification, it is essential to have a project. In this case, we test project-based learning and team-based learning. We try to create a problem using gamification for students to solve. We try to simulate our students' soft skills. Then you promote cross meetings and use the gamification system to assess the project. The projects also have anonymous evaluation from the students, also using gamification. So at the beginning of the classes, we told the students what are our plan. As you can see here, we did a plan for 15 weeks with some parts of gamifications. Rounded as blue is gamification parts of the classes in our approach. So how it works in a real environment using online tools. So this case study is about 15 weeks, 13 weeks of contacts, 183 hours of work with students. This is division of our classes. Our classes has 15 shifts of classes, theoretical practice, and laboratory. We have a total of 166 students with average attendance of T classes around 90%. And what was our class goals with this approach? Innovate and create classes subject online, totally online, use gamification as the basis of the teaching, and then provide students the best online learning environment. So with gamification, we developed a lot of strategies. First was promote quiz with bonus. Our goal was to motivate students to participate in the classes. Then we implement card systems. We can bring to students yellow cards, red cards, and orange cards that can allow a bad performance. But if they are very good, they can receive white or blue cards. Then we promote individual assessment with the cutoff systems. If the students are good, they can continue. If they are not good, can go back in next year. We also promote a peer assessment, anonymous. Every student can evaluate team and involve results. And we also implement a risk system that was available to students who didn't achieve the minimum grade, and they think that their grades are not fair. They can ask some redemption, and professors can analyze their questions, their requests, and advance. So I have here some details. I will stop here because it is being recorded, and I'll want to know about it. I can talk it at the list of my presentation, but we have here some details about the presentation. So I can show you some overview of the tools used. For example, here is to select the students who will receive a bonus. All students that participate in the classes can receive a bonus to duplicate their quiz results. Then here is the system to evaluate the students individually. I can drag this ball. Then it is our card system. We can see some blue cards, red cards, and green. Green is there is no card. This is our communication system because our class was online. We have a chat with the students. Here, this is, for example, an exam and mini test. When we put these questions in our computer, and students can see in their computer and respond and answer to the quiz online or using their mobile. And here we have a mini exercise that we can, for example, ask students to unlock some part of the code using, for example, their student ID. Only students that can use student ID in this part of the project can continue with that part of the assessment. So here, finally, we have the risk system. And for example, this student was not approved, received a -1, and they can reschool for the system. So to assess all the approach, we try to understand the students at the beginning of the classes. What are their expectations about having online classes? Most of them, as you can see, were afraid of having this type of classes online. At the end, as you can see, most of the results are positive. Generally, 96% of students like these approaches about having classes online. Then, most than 50% of the students like it to have online classes. This is about approach. This is about online classes. Most of them don't like because they don't have infrastructures at home to support their classes online. Gamification approach was very, very, very good. We received an 85% of positive results as good or excellent. The quality report that all students have to answer at the end of the classes, you can see that positive values are higher than negative, and our main goal is increase the engagement. And you can see the students that are not engaged with this approach are less than 5%. So the outcomes, I will show you some outcomes of this unit. We created 8 teams with average of 20 students each. Then we also had 27 groups with an average of 6 students. We created online 80 chat rooms to communicate between students and professors and students also. We perform our class during 280 hours online. We create a real project, and we created 3 mini tests. It is type of text, but online, and was synchronous. 144 students received bonus during their participation in classes. We attributed 321 cards, and 3 students activate the rescue system. 95% of students approved the systems, 80% with the average of T classes, and 85% approved the gamification system. So this is, I'm finished. I will let you some numbers that you can have to see what you can achieve with this type of approach, and some values that you can achieve using this strategy. 2 conclusions. I only want to show some final results that is important to see. That is 95% of students were approved with this mechanism. Who wants to know more about this approach? We have 3 papers, articles that are published online. It is open access. You can read, you can access by reading this QR code. And thank you for this opportunity.